We'll begin with a short prayer. समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् दक्षिणे लक्ष्मणो यस्य वामे तु जनकात्मजा पुरतो मारुतिर्यस्य तं वन्दे रघुनन्दनम् ॐ नमः श्री तुलसीदास सद्वरिष्ठाय धीमते पूरितं हृदयं येन रामप्रेमामृतेन रामप्रेमामृतेन Hari Om, everybody. We'll begin with a short bhajan just to settle our mind. Everybody chant loudly.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram
Ram Jaya Ram
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram नित्यावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की बोलो वैष्णव संतन की सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की
This was the melodious voice of some of you have asked is Swami Tejamayanandaji, who was the head of Chinmaya mission, who stepped down recently, but this is his singing as anyway. So after long gap, well, we needed that gap. Parvati had to born again from Shiva Gita part 1. Now she is no more Daksha Suta. Now she is born as Girija Kumari Parvati. And she had to do lot of tapas. So ours is also New Year. But we didn't do any tapas, right? Like Parvati did lot of tapas. So we will see what now has happened to her doubts and questions. Her spiritual quest. What happened when she took a new birth? So because we saw different situations, but one final thing was we saw she was not honest with her guru. For spiritual doubts, she wanted to keep back, hide something. It is like hiding something. You go to see your physical annual checkup and don't tell doctor everything and come back say, see, I cheated the doctor. Now, who cheated whom? Mhm. So this is what happened. Actually, that is the reason why Bharadwaj Muni came to Yajnavalkya Muni. Remember, this katha is unfolding on 3 levels. So Yajnavalkya said, with this doubt, I can't do meditation. I have to remove all the doubts from Guru. From Guru. That's why he came to Yajnavalkya Muni's ashram. There he took him to Jnanaghat, where Shankar Parvati conversation was going. And there, as great sadhaka, spiritual seeker Parvati ji was, he said, and she's going to admit it. So now we'll come to Shiva Gita part 2, where she had to, while giving up her body in a yoga agni, her last wish was, let my devotion to Lord stay very intense and strong. With that last thought, she gave up her body. And then she was born as Himalaya mountains, Devata's daughter, and she did lot of tapas. Narad Muni came in her life as a guru, and she had tremendous guru nishtha in this life. We'll see this exam, we'll see it unfold in next story of Narad ji. We're going to see the Parvati ji's now guru, Narad Muni. His story also we're going to see in 2 weeks. And now she is now married to Shankar Bhagwan. And now she saw a right movement when she saw Shankar Bhagwan has just finished his meditation. She comes out thinking an appropriate time. Now she asks him a question. And see, just to summarize part 1, Shiva Gita part 1. We are faced in life situations such as curiosity, doubt. It grows of confusion. It could be a breach of trust. And we saw these characters, Bharadwaj Muni, Sati Mata, Lakshmana also got a doubt, was not sure. But he left the decision to Lord Ram and Lord Shiva. What all the different things they did in their life, we saw that. And the conclusion we draw from these stories was the power of honesty, love, trust, and straightforwardness. It actually makes us eligible, elevate us, and unite with the higher. Those white sheets you see in front of Lord, these are, while you were busy with your children's teachers, that's what I tried to do. I tried to elevate them and unite with the higher with honesty, love, trust, straightforwardness to express what help do they need in their life, one for their own, one for their family, and one for their community. What change would they like to see in them if Lord blesses them that you will be successful? So they have written down. So while you are busy with parents, with the teachers, that's my homework to read how they want to elevate us with the help of God. See, why do we pray? We pray. See, do we pray that, oh Lord, let there be tomorrow Saturday? Please, Lord, no, whether we pray or not, it's going to be a Saturday, isn't it? So if it is things very obvious, we don't pray. But something which is not in our hand, that thing we pray to Lord. We invoke help. And Lord empowers us. Okay. So now that she has elevated herself to higher level, what did she say? So it's in your book on page 45, Chaupai 2. We are not going to chant, we are just going to see what Parvati Mata says. So she says, मैं बन दीखी राम प्रभुताई. And then now she confesses, Atibhaya Bikalan तुम ही सुनाई. I got so frightened. Actually, I got, but in Hindi, what they say, I got prachiti. I got the God is so great. And he, as Arjuna saw Vishwarupa Darshan, she also saw Vishwarupa Darshan in Ramji. But she didn't have a courage to confess that. So, see, when we don't have purity of mind, even though we have the experience, we don't accept. That's what stops us from accepting. We need purity of mind. So she admits here, because of I was too afraid, I didn't tell it to you. And then she says further, accept. Tadapi malina mana bodhuna ava. See, because of clarity of mind is not there. See, someone let's say I don't like that person. And that person gave me something. Oh, I would say, you know what? He must be having some extra. So he gave me. Arey, that fellow kindly gave me this person, but I don't have that clarity in my mind. So I'll in Guneshu dosha darshan. Even in the people's qualities, I see fault. I'm telling about my stage, okay? I'm not telling about you. But this is what purity of mind. Hmm. And then she admits, so phala bhati phalu bhali bhati hamapava. And I suffered also a lot. She is telling Lord Shiva. But she said, but Lord, what to do? Ajahu kachu samsayamana more. I still have some doubts. See, these days, we are as smart as our smartphone is, right? Now, let us say I change my phone. Somebody bought me a 5G phone. So they changed the SIM card. Do I become smart? No, I still have the old contacts, photos, everything is same. The machine looks new in new life, but I'm same. Isn't it? So Parvati ji is saying, I still have those doubts are there. Please, Bhagavan, Krupa, Karahu, Krupa, Binav, Karajot. And no, please, those doubts are there. So how come? So even after this, our doubts continue. Keep in mind, we'll answer this in next Chopai. And she says, Prabhu, oh Lord, Prabhu tabamohi bahu bhati prabodha. You told me in many ways. Natho so samuji karahu jani krodha. But please don't get angry. I know you at that time you explained to me a lot in many ways. I just couldn't get it. So doubts are there. But what is the difference now? Hmm? What is different now? It's the same thing. Lord will say, then why should I tell you? You know, I already tried once. He didn't listen to me. I don't want to waste my time. No, no, no. She admits. See how she has done in her tapasya, in her contemplation. She focused on what she can do, what she cannot do. Our limitations. So she says, tabakara asa vimoha abanai. That vimoha, that delusion, I don't have it now. Oh, you don't have. How did it go away? Ah, but doubt is there. You see, you have doubt, and then you say moha has gone, delusion has gone. Means what? One step forward. He is not a magic. Don't expect somebody will keep hand on my head and all my doubts will go. It will not happen. Pujya Swami Gurudev used to say that is a saloon method. That you God, you come and you cut my hair. That is a saloon method to put a hand on somebody's head and doubts going away. No, we have to work on our own doubts. The first step of removing the doubts is, she says, now what has happened, from then and now, Ram Katha Par Ruchi Man Mahi. I have developed love for listening Ram Katha. At that time, we saw that she didn't listen to Ram Katha. She came with Shankar Bhagwan, but she didn't listen. So Ram Katha Para Ruchi Mana Mahi. So you say, how do you say that you have a Rama Katha? Or how do I know whether I have an interest in Rama Katha? See, there are two things. One is, what is my approach and at what depth I'm willing to go. Oh, it is what time it is? No. I am just too early in the morning for me. No, I can't attend that class. Means what? When I have to make a choice between sleep and that class, I make a choice, and then I get the appropriate result out of that. So, how much price I am willing to pay, and then approach. What approach do I take? Now we'll see, we'll follow this approach and depth. This is self-analysis. We'll follow this in future upayas. Which is Kahu. Now she's telling Lord Shiva, I developed interest. Kahu Puneet Ram Guna Gatha. Now please tell me. Now she thinks, see the adjectives, the words are used. She says this Ram Katha is now purifying. And what is the Doha? Doha is, we have said, at Doha we'll do Dohan. We'll study. So she says, Bandau padadhari dharani siru binaya karahu karajori. Is praying to Lord Shiva that I will prostrating, touching my head on my, literally means I'm surrendering to you. So in technical terms, this is called as approaching to Guru, or in Yoga Vasishta terms, there are 7 steps to spiritual seeking. It says Shubhecha. In my mind, Shubha Sankalpa has come, that I will study from this new year. We do resolution for new year, right? It's not a revolution, it's a resolution, right? That I will do Ram Katha, whatever you are studying Bhagavad Gita, whatever I'll do exercise. So that Shubhecha, that good thought has come to my mind. And approach to Guru. It's called Guru Upasakti. That is the theme of Vedanta. In Mundaka Shruti, Parikshalokan Karmaschitan Brahmana. Brahmana is not a caste, one who wants to be a seeker of Brahman. He has examined, Pariksha Lokan. He has examined thoroughly all what does karmas can bring to me, what this action is going to bring me, his limitation. It's not, he has not discarded the action, but he has understood his limitation. How much joy it can give me. Says Pariksha Lokan, Karma Shitan Brahmana. And he approaches. That's where the word Guru Upasakti Shankaracharya used. So the reason I'm quoting this, as I got, remember 3 weeks back you gave me your feedback? I'm studying those. So some of you have said that when you give this reference, you have wanted to study the Upanishad. See, the subject of Upanishad and Ramayana is not different. It's one and the same. And actually the second line of Doha, it will become more clear to us. So what is Pariksha Lokan Karmashitan Brahmana in Mundaka Upanishad? The Vedanta alone is the answer to my life. One who has made that resolve, not more money, not if I go to West Coast, none of those. Answer to for me for being happy is Vedanta. I need to bloom where I am. One who has resolved that Vedanta is the answer, that is true good, that is Shubhecha. That is the beginning of our spiritual journey. And now Vedanta, and I said Vedanta and Ramayana subjects are hand in hand. Now what Parvati Mata is asking. Barano Raghuvara Bisada Jasu. You describe the glory, Jasa means Yasha. You describe the glory and success of Ramji, but how? Shruti Siddhanta Nichori. Don't just tell me stories. See how it aligns with Shruti, Upanishad. I want Nichori means the essence. I want to understand Rama's glory, but I want you to map it to Shruti Siddhanta Nichori. See, is a tall order. And person who is asking this question also must have done a lot of thinking, isn't it? Not just, see, earlier what she said, her questions of about Ramji. Now you can see what a transformation it has come. Doubts are there. But now see, the approach has changed. See, the approach has changed. And the depth in which she wants to understand the Ramakatha. Now, and now she puts a question paper to Lord Shiva. Now, when we see what she wants to know from Ramayana, we can say actually she heard in Yajnavalkya Muni and with Shankar Bhagwanji when he went to listen to the story. Actually, she must have heard. Otherwise, she won't ask this question. But that time, she didn't have a value for it. She didn't think that this will solve the. I'll find answer to my questions in this. She thought it just some stories there. Ramayana. We say, someone says, where do you go? Ramayana. He started his Ramayana. Means just talking Ramayana, nothing. We don't see the now, but now Parvati Mata has said, I want essence of Shruti and Siddhanta, the principles of Upanishad, I want in this story. In that, you tell me what is the glory of Ram. See, nice question. Now let us see the question paper. And there is no option. And we can, from the type of questions we ask, also tells us the Guru knows us where we are, what type of questions we are. When Swamiji himself was telling me, he is no more now, he was saying, see, honestly, he was so, I really thank him for admitting, accepting and sharing this with me. He said, Arvind, when I was in ashram, our Swamiji, Tejamandaji was the teacher, and then Gurudev used to come once in a while. So when Gurudev came, he asked him. He asked Puja Gurudev, he said, Gurudev, tell me some shortcut to focus my mind and all my answers. Gurudev looked at me and scolded me. He said, you are a lazy person. He said, what is this? I have come to ashram. I joined this course and I'm asking him to give me a shortcut to. And he's lazy. And he said, earn your sadhana. And then he said, explain to me. He said, you have gone for exercise, walk in a park. Would you look for a shortcut? No. You would like to know what is the trail which is most challenging, most difficult. That's the trail you want to develop the skills in you. So there is no shortcut in Vedanta. And I really thank him for sharing this story with me, because this is what it is. The questions that we ask, Guru awakens us. Guru empowers us. Okay, now let's see the example. So now these questions are on page 47. As we go through the questions, please fill mark in your book, because we are going to have homework based on these questions. Yeah, that is my New Year resolution, to give you homework. Is that okay? He said, okay, Arvind, you can give questions, homework, we won't do it. That is our resolution. Okay. So the first question. See, that question that was started in the last life, she also wants to know. Nirguna Brahma Saguna Vapudhari. Vapu means Vapu. Vapu is the body. How does Nirguna Brahma becomes the Vapu? See, based on this question alone, the entire Ramcharitmanas Katha on 4 different views, 4 ghat, the Katha is going. And then we flipped this question last time when we discussed this. Forget whether Ram is Brahman or not. How can I be Brahman? See, I have a body or not. I have a Vapu or not. I am a Saguna or not right now. Yeah. And then what Upanishads are telling us? I am Brahman. So how could I be Brahman? That's what the Upanishad tell us. Tattvamasi. That's the Mahavakya, isn't it? So how can I be Brahman? That's the first question. The second is, she's saying, how the Lord has taken avatar. Now see, we'll get to listen from, with this question, the concept of avatar. It's a beautiful concept which helps us understand a lot of miseries and mysteries in our life. We have in our Dasbodh class, we had the guest from, and then they said, this is not our first life. They were a young couple, very advanced Vedanta sadhakas, they were telling us, and very convincingly, that is not by accident we are gathered here. You have gathered here to earn the love, longing for the love for God. We must have done our sadhana and met some saintly spiritual person previously somewhere. So she is asking, tell me the concept of this avatar, incarnation, and especially explain to us Bala Charita. Now, what is the beauty of this Bala Charita? Now, if you see in Ramcharitmanas, Bal Kanda is the largest. Actually, 3/4 Ramcharitmanas is Bal Kanda. Yeah. See, that is how Brahman expresses. See, if you see these children of, see, 3, 4, 5 months, they give you associate with them and they give you joy or not. They just look at you. Do they give you anything? Do they give us anything? Do they have a sankalpa that child has determined that I'm going to give a joy to whosoever comes around me? No, there's no intention. But just being around that innocent jiva, he brings happiness to all. That is the beauty of this Balakand. Next time you get a chance to be around a small baby, think about this. How this baby is giving joy. It's a wonderful experience. How this Brahman is expressing through it. Unknowingly, that Brahman keeps everybody happy and busy. Whole household becomes busy. Yeah. So she said, Udara, give in detail, Bala Charita. Then next. Now tell me, how did he get married to Janaki? Kahu Katha Janaki Bivahi. I want to know. And Rajatajaso Dushan Kai. Now see the approach. Last life she said, oh, he's the prince who lost his kingdom and moving around in a forest. Now she said, what happened? Why do you have to give up? And then instead of moving around helplessly in a forest, she is saying, Prabhu Kine Charita Apara. He did a lot of things and now remember, earlier life she said, he got angry and fought battle with Ravana. Now she's interested to know what happened. What are the different leela that he did? Now, eighth question. And then when he returned to Ayodhya, Raja Baiti Kini Bahuli. After coming to Ayodhya, he did administration very efficiently. That's what we call Rama Rajya, isn't it? So many kings have earlier there, but then we don't say like that. We say Rama Rajya. So 8 questions. Now, next 2 questions are most difficult. I hope you are marking because the homework is based on these 10 questions. Now, the next one is, oh, Bahuri Kaho Karuna Yatana Kina Jo Acharajaram. Now you see the adjective she is using. Different miracles, that fantastic things Rama did, Acharaja. And then he says, the 9th question is, that the great surprise is, we are going to see that portion that we are in our book is there, last Uttarkanda Purajana Gita. Lord gives a spiritual advice to all the citizens in Ayodhya and he takes them to his abode by following that advice. Everyone gets mukti. So what miracle did he do that along with Praja, along with the population, Kimi Gavane Nijadham. Nijadham means Lord's abode. What did he do to make all the citizens eligible to get a moksha? So again, as we see approach and depth, that is our theme of these questions. Now the last question is the hardest and sweetest. The last question. She is saying, "Aurahu Ram rahasya aneka, kahhu nath ati bimala viveka." He did many things. I already asked you 9 questions. Now, but then please tell me simple Vivek. Bimala Viveka means don't use too much complicated logic. Again, don't leave the mapping of Upanishad principles, but tell me in the simple words. Hmm. And then she said, this is the nicest question. I loved it. Many commentators have loved it. And she said, you know what? I asked you 9 questions, but please tell me whatever I have not asked you. And if you think it is important, please tell me that also. She's a nice approach it is, you know. So, जो प्रभु मैं पूछा नहीं होए, so दयाल राखौ जनी को. Please be kind and tell me that also what you have. Now, see, when someone asks this to a teacher, won't teacher be pleased? These questions are not to see, let me see how much do you know. They are not like that. They are from saying, see, this is the limitation. How much can I think? What do I know? So I have to. That's why we have to. That greatest is the mind which surrenders to Guru. And Lord actually tells her, gives her certificate in the very first answer itself. And this theme, those who have asked this question, you could next class we are going to map these chopais with Vivek Chuda. Shankaracharya also told the same thing. In Vivek Chudamani, the entire 584 verses is the answer to the 9 questions that disciple has asked. Entire. And then Guru becomes so happy with these questions. And he says, what Shankaracharya told in Vivek Chudamani, that's what Shankar Bhagwan is going to tell to Parvati. So here we saw, listening to this question, Shankar Bhagwan, like a Magana Dhyana Rasa Danda Juga, he became like a pillar, like a still, with a great difficulty. Just listening to this question, he became so pleased. But then with a great difficulty, he pulled his mind up. This is not a time to go in meditation. This is time to answer the questions. See, this is like exactly reverse of our mind. Yeah, our mind says, oh, let me have coffee, let me check my messages, then go to meditation. Somehow we sit, whatever. But then here Lord Shiva says, this is Bhagana Dhyana Rasa. No, this Unimana Bahira Kin. He somehow pulled his mind out and Raghupati Charisa Mahesataba Harashita Bharane Li. He started explaining the Raghuvira Charitra. Okay. Now what we'll do, we'll join it at page 49. He started explaining. So we'll chant this one. Please sing loudly. It's not lead and follow, but chant aloud. Okay. So now this is Shankar Bhagwan is answering the questions.
झूठे सत्य जाहि बिनु जाने, जिमि भुजंग बिनु रजु परिजाने, जेहि जाने जग जाई है राई, जागे जथा सपन भ्रम जाई, बंदउ बाल रूप सोई राम, सबल सुलभ जपत सुनाम, मंगल भवन अमंगल हारी, द्रवहु सुदशरथ अजिर विहारी, करि प्रणाम राम ही त्रिपुरारी, हर्षि सुधा समधिराहु चारि, धन्य धन्य गिरिराज कुमारी तुम समान नहीं को पकारी पूछे रघुपति कथा प्रसंगा सकल लोक जग पावनी गंगा तुम रघुवीर शरण अनुरागी कीन्हु प्रश्न जगत हित लागी राम कृपा ते पार्वती सपने तव मन माही शोक मोह संदेह भ्रम मम विचार कछु नाही सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय
We'll go now from reverse, from Doha. See, what did he say? Conclusion. Doha is the, in general, roughly speaking, Doha gives the summary, essence of the Chaupa is the spiritual message. It gives the essence in Doha. He says, Rama Krupate Parvati. Now she is no more Daksha Kanya. He's saying Parvati. Lord has blessed you. Even in the dream, Sapane Hutava Manamahi. Rama Krupa is on you. You will never have, with Lord's grace, Soka Moha Sandeha Brahma. Mama Vichara Kachuna. You will not be tormented by this. The Shankar Bhagwan has given this blessing. She already had the prachiti that Lord is Bhagwan. He is a Saguna become and is Nirguna. Actually, you may wonder what is this Saguna, Nirguna, but we have this doubt, and this is a time like we have few minutes. Let's think on this. See, unless my concept about God, to whom I am praying, if it is not clear in my mind, how would I be able to pray? How would I be able to take my mind there? Let us say you go to, let us say, go to airport. The airport is near here. You go to airport and go to airline and say, give me a ticket. Okay, I have money. It's sure, good. Where? Where do you want to go? No, I have money. Buy me a first class ticket. Okay, I'll give a first class ticket. But where do you want to go? We must know, isn't it? You have to go vacation. Yes, where? So it is important for us to think whether I accept God. What is my idea about the God? And these all the 10 questions are answered in this. Now my home, I remembered the home. Otherwise I was forgetting. My homework is, how many questions Parvati ji asked? 10. Now your homework is map these 10 questions to this table of content. We are going to study this book, right? These are 18 Gitas. These are spiritual essence of Ramcharitmanas. That's what these 18 Gitas are. Now see, all the questions Parvati ji has asked, are they in this book or not? You have to map. Don't say yes. I don't know. Oh, lucky. Maybe you know. But that is the thing. We have to map it. Now, what would they tell us? The question is, what would they tell us? The thing is, unless it's not clear in my idea, let us imagine, see, your children have gone to college and then they come back. And, sometimes they burst a bomb when the first time they come home. It could be some bombs are simple. Like they say, they may change the major or change the dom, some of the things. Some bombs are very, really, they disrupt the family. So let us say, imagine someone says, Dad, What? Uh, I have fallen in love. Fallen in love. With whom? Yes, I don't know with whom, but I have fallen. So we have come here to fall in love with the God. But who is God? We need to know. What is my understanding? Is not some academic question. We have to know. I don't believe in God. I hope none of anybody is not here who says not believe in God. But do you see creation or not? We see the creation. So there must be a creator. Somebody must have built it, isn't it? Without that, how could there be a creation? Hmm. There are laws, isn't it? Hmm. And then someone has to follow. Someone makes sure that laws are followed, isn't it? See, when you are on a highway, we go to long trips to Florida. You know when the everybody slows down, somebody is there to looking after some suddenly some everybody. So then niyamak has to be there. Not only niyama, rules are not just there, but then somebody who's enforcing the ruler has to be also there, isn't it? So the Lord has made all these rules. Then Lord make sure we follow the rules. See, those people, no, no, I don't follow any rules. I don't follow any diet. Okay, then after a few years, you have to follow the rules of your liver, whatever the liver tells you have to do. Yes, somebody's rule you have to follow. There must be niyamaka. Now the question is, who is this God? This Rama, that Parvati, first question we are discussing, they're just simple ways we are discussing. We'll see the details. But just to track our mind, the Lord has made the creation. Is His Lord something like a ghata, like a pot maker made the pot, and the pot made the pot? Is that what is our relationship with the world and the God? That is one darshana. That is one viewpoint. What do I believe? So if that is so, then now these days that Suez Canal is blocked, isn't it? Supply chain issues. So Lord may have supply chain issues then, because where would get the Lord's raw material? From where would it get? See, my son is PhD in finance. For some reason, we get all these financial magazines and research papers, and they are lying around. So I happen to read them. So they advise, they ask, what is the 2024? And then the financial expert, they say, you should invest in a company which is the word vertically integrated. Means what? They are not dependent on supply chain. Their raw material, they have their own supply of raw material. That is successful. See, that's what Lord is. Lord is vertically integrated. He's not dependent on the raw material somewhere. Lord makes his own raw material. He makes his own laws. He follows it. Everything, all in one is law. All these financial experts, they borrow idea from Vedanta only, I tell you. See, if we say the Lord has used his own material, and someone says, we like that idea. That example in Vedanta they use, like there must be a reason and change. That Lord, the material is Lord only, but it's like a milk and the curds. We love that idea because now the curd is there, no more milk. So God is no more. Lord has made the world and Lord has finished. So they make a big signboard by a big philosopher. Lord is dead, philosopher. Yeah, make a big sign on the road. Yeah, I like that is the isn't it? But milk has turned into curds, and there is no more milk. So Lord is no more, gone, finished. Then after a few years, what happened, that philosopher died. Philosopher passed away. So the Lord made another billboard. Philosopher dead, God. Philosopher, dead. Gone. God is not like that. So now the question is, what is the relationship between Jiva and Ishvara? What is the relationship between, what is my relationship with the Lord? If you want to, of course, Ramcharitmanas is there. The language sometimes says, if you want to, one more, I'll just cite one more extra reading book for bonus point. How many of you are familiar with Ramakrishna Kathamrita? Anybody familiar? Does anybody know what is Ramakrishna Kathamritam is? How many of you heard Ramakrishna Paramahamsa? You know, right? Vivekanandaji's guru. Now, there was one person, his name is Mahendranath Gupta, who was, now this is again, I'm telling you a story of 150 years ago. He was a principal of an English medium school at that time in Calcutta. And he visited Ramakrishna Paramahamsa almost 100 plus times and he visited Dakshineshwar. With our great thing, our fortune, when this Mahendranath Gupta was 5 years old, he used to write a journal in his life. 5 years old, he used to write his daily what happened. So he had this great habit of reproducing what happened. So he has written down every visit what happened with Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. The way it is written, if you read it, you will feel you are in Dakshineshwar with Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. That is the way, because he has written third person singular. Like he has written, like if I would like to write, I would say Arvind came today. Today was parent teacher meeting. So Arvind told a story to, like as if it is happening. Then he gave homework to adults. They were very excited to know the homework. No, I'm just kidding. But then he has written like this. So in that, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, see, he had these great powers. When he look at the person, he would know what is, he used to say, like a glass put in a, milk put in a glass, I can see inside of the person. So he asked this person this question to M. Mahendranath Gupta. In the book, he has referred himself as M. And he has written, do you believe God Saguna or Nirguna? And he said Nirguna. Because he under the influence of Christian Namabidhan, Namavedanta, Nirguna. So Ramakrishna Paramahamsa said, good, that's fine, but don't consider Saguna as inferior. So M said, how can Lord be both Saguna and Nirguna? And then he written, I thought, how can milk be white and black at the same time? See, honestly confess his question. See, milk can be white or black, whatever color is. But if it is white, then Thakur should say only it is white, not black. So like that, if Lord is Nirguna, then Lord Thakur should say it is Nirguna. Why is it both are right? He said, so he asked the follow-up question, and then he has written. And I asked him, but Thakur, when I pray to Lord Shiva, Kali Mata is made up of clay. Somebody needs to tell people that it's a clay. The Thakur responded, you people from Calcutta have this bad habit of teaching others. You think your own watch is correct. Doesn't Lord know that somebody is praying to the Murti? Do you know more than the Lord? And he has written, this was M's first and hopefully last question answer or argument with Thakur. With that first question answer is all doubts were dissolved. So he said, I have stopped thinking what others should do. I focus on me. I don't need to advise others. So same way, Shankar Bhagwan is going to answer all these questions. But the reason I said this is, it is very important for us to dive deep in our mind and understand what is my understanding of Lord. And which Lord I want to have unison that I'm thinking in meditation, in prayer. We must think. This thinking will take us, elevate our upasana at higher level. It will become subtle. It will get us on demand. Because right now it is artificial. You know, in Hindi, what they say? आज का पूजा कर डाला. अच्छा जब करुण takla. Like that. Okay, enough now. Now rest of the time I'm free now. So this is the transformation I want in my life. So that we'll try to do next time with these 10 questions. But remember, Parvati ji has done lot of tapas. The reason I shared with this is Parvati, after a lot of tapas, were come up with 10 questions. What questions I would have come with? If someone says, I'll answer all your questions, Lord comes and says, what questions I would have liked to ask? Yeah, that's something nice, contemplation, meditation. Anyway, our thoughts go here, there, isn't it? When we do meditation. Yeah, think about it. What questions you would like to ask? Nice exercise. Okay. All right. Stop here and we'll continue the Shiva Parvati dialogue next week. When you go home, please ask your children what was their wish to Lord. Because Lord promised them if they will be successful, what would they like to do? Like Nachiketa, they have written their 3 wishes, but you please have discussion with them. Okay? So, following week, the symposium that Sudhita ji is organizing will help us to have more meaningful dialogue with our children. We'll grow together as a family. And then, with Puja Gurudev's guidance, there is a study group that they have arranged where different leaders, teachers will come and guide us on what is the meaning of Gurudev's 108 names, 6, 7 names each time that we are going to do. So you'll get to listen to that. I think it's an online program. I believe it's on Saturdays, but you'll get to know more in your newsletter. Okay. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.